All those things. We really need the government to adhere to what they are looking for and then just help us do it. But if you don't write the examination now, I don't know when we are going to write it again, and it's going to affect the academic calendar. The first strike affected us, therefore we couldn't have a long vacation as everybody is having. Yeah, and then now another one, and we don't know how that one too is going to be like.
Now the classes are closed, so we don't have anywhere to learn aside from this place, and we are not comfortable with it. They said they will not be teaching, so and there will not be invigilation, meaning definitely no exam and no marking of scripts because they will not be teaching, so their classes are closed. Yes, it's really affecting us severely. We are pleading on the government to come in.
We come from afar, we are not staying in the hostel, and now we come to the school. Mostly we are wasting lorry fare here and there. Obviously, we're thinking that maybe when you come to the school, you'll be coming to learn and then other things, but the lectures aren't available.
Our lecturers have been on strike for a while now during the last semester, and we weren't able to write our exams. So we've been asked to go home and come back, and as at now, we haven't started the exams and nothing is going on. And as a final year student, it's having more effect on us than anything else, because right now there are project work that are supposed to be supervised and our supervisors are not doing anything because they are on strike. So we are pleading with the government to come to our aid, because as final year student, it's a very huge problem. Something should be done about it real quick.
We're having a paper today. We are here and then we are stranded. We came and then there's nothing, you can't even see the lectures around. Yesterday they had a press conference, they were trying to resolve issues and stuff, but then at the end of the day, we've not heard anything from yesterday till now. And then we are pleading on the government and also on the lecturers also to do something about it, like to resolve the issue as well as very quick so that exams could commence anytime soon to help us. Me being a final year student, it's having an effect on me. I can't keep waiting till exams isn't written and then I'll be there stranded and then stuff. I just want to write the exams and then look forward to my project work and then look forward to something else, because there are more ahead of us that we want to do. There are some students that want to continue, do so many things. There are others that have so many things on their mind that they want to do. And then when you see there's a delay, it really affects us, it even affects you personally. And then you could see that it's really having an effect on us, even though you could see people moving out. Yesterday there were so much people here, but today they could see it's just a waste of time coming.
Well, those are some of the students there speaking to PSA. Nanaya Safowo, president of the Technical Universities Teachers Association of Ghana, Samuel Kilson, says the association will now deal with only actions, and not promises from government. In an interview with JoyNews, he says there is a clear indication that the government has refused to fully comply with the National Labour Commission's ruling on the payment of their allowances and their migration to the single spine salary structure. The teachers who form the Technical University Teachers Association have been fighting the government over its reluctance to migrate them onto the single spine pay policy of public universities, despite having gone through a comprehensive staff audit.
The National Labour Commission enforce its ruling so that we all have confidence in the institutions that are there to ensure industrial harmony. Because if National Labour Commission today gives ruling and one party can decide not to comply with the ruling, tomorrow if you have a case and it goes there and they rule, will you have confidence in it? You will not have any confidence. That is the difficulty we are having. So we are there, and you ask when. We are waiting for the action. We are not going for promises anymore. If government, and for that matter, fair wages and all those working on it for government, says that we have paid, this time it is not promise. And note, it is not just payment of existing rate, because there is existing rate already for public universities that everybody is going for, and that is what brings parity. Let me tell you, the parity aspect when it comes to qualification, when it comes to scheme of service, that has been done with ease. That has been done. Now, staff audit has been done to assess the quality of teachers. Scheme of service has been provided to give the highest standard possible for teachers in technical university. So if you have done all that, then it comes to the money aspect and you are dragging your feet. Then we have a challenge, and that must stop. You know, the one that we went, on the 7th of October. It ended up at the National Labour Commission. And then when we got to National Labour Commission, the commission, which is like a high court, gave its ruling, which is very important for all parties to note. And so the ruling was simple, that TUTAG should go back to the classroom and start teaching. And then instead of giving government November to pay, government was to take the whole of November and start paying in December. Then the arrears effective August will now become 4 months. And those arrears are supposed to be paid October and February. And so we all understood and accepted the ruling. So we went straight back to classroom, hoping that in December, when the ruling has given as the deadline, payment will be made. And that is what never happened. And that is why we thought that the only way is to demonstrate our displeasure for the right thing to be done.
So I heard you say February, but you are not yet in February.
No, I am saying that the ruling was that, this is the first time they are going to pay certain allowances at certain rates. And for that matter, they needed to work on it the first time. And so, even though it takes effect from August, because they have not started, the 28th ruling gave government December to pay so that they can use November to prepare and pay in December. You see, in December, they will pay only for the December one. So that August, September, October, November are all there. But they were not supposed to pay the arrears. They were only to pay December so that it starts. Then the arrears for 4 months is what will be spread into January and February 2020. And so we are not talking about the arrears. That one, because the time is not due, we are only waiting. But you see, if somebody promised you today and he doesn't honor, it is difficult for you to believe him if he will honor his promise next time. So it's quite something. It's interesting how we have come, because when this happened, everybody will be pointing fingers at TUTAG, you see. But what we want the public to understand is this. It is not that TUTAG is asking for money, asking for allowance. We are asking for parity of prestige. And that parity of prestige, this is what it is costing us. The fact that the conditions of technical universities are not good. Many of our staff, when they train and they come out with PhD and others, they prefer to leave the technical university and go to the other public university where they will get better emolument. Just think of 2 people who completed PhD in a particular school. One come to technical university and is taking rent allowance of 15 cedis per month. His colleague now go to another public university and he's taking 20% of his basic. That can be 600, 700, 800, 900. Do you expect the other one to continue staying? So every now and then we are losing most of our qualified teachers to the other universities. If that continues, then the TVET concept cannot get any realization. Know that the president is very particular about TVET. And he wants to develop Ghana through industrialization. And so, look, the president has even appointed a deputy minister for TVET. It tells you that the president is very particular about TVET. So we, the people who have to move it to stand, we don't have to play. So what is happening is not just about allowances that they want. It is about the fact that if we don't attain parity, we will continue to lose our teachers. We will lose recognition. If we are not careful, people, even prospective students, will not prefer to choose technical education.
That is Samuel Kilson there speaking to Inatalia. Well, you've seen the situation here in Accra. We've also been checking with our regions. Let's get to Western region now. Inatalia Kwanzaa is our correspondent. She's standing by. She has been speaking to the university, the Technical University, Takrady Technical University. Ina, tell us what you find on the campus.
That's okay. Kippy, I have been to the Takoradi Technical University, and then they have the business school for the university at BU. At both campuses, everything seems quiet. You see students loitering around. Others are also in their classes doing their own private studies. They were supposed to write their end of semester exams this January, but as the situation is now, some of them are taking advantage to learn on their own, whilst others are doing their own, and the administration is not working. There is no one in there.
And did you get to speak to some of the students here in Accra? They are threatening a demonstration, a massive demonstration, they call it. What are the students they're saying?
For Takoradi, they haven't threatened any demonstration, but they feel so bad, especially some of them tell me that during the holiday festivity, they didn't enjoy. They were stuck to their books learning, hoping to come back and then write their end of semester exams, but they came back and then the teachers are nowhere. It has become back and forth. October, teachers were on strike, and then this again. So it's becoming difficult for them, even especially the first year students who had just come to school, and then with this back and forth strike, they feel that if time is not taken by the end of their year in the university, they wouldn't have gotten the accurate knowledge they need.
And so when you get on campus, it's just students and an empty space. No, none of the authorities at all.
None of them. It is just the students doing their own thing.
Ina, thank you for that update. Natalia Kwanzaa, they're joining us all the way from the Western region with that update. Now, well, let's come back to Accra, where we've been assessing the situation at the Accra Technical University. The students there are saying they've had enough. SRC president of the Technical University, Safo Kwesi Kantanka, is unhappy. This is the second time that exams have been cancelled following the association's strike in October last year, which annulled the December 2019 exams. They have dubbed their demonstration, which they are planning, Operation Desert Storm.
We first saw the first phase of the strike in October down to November, and then it was able to hit almost 21 days or 21 working days, of which we have in our statute and other working document that if such happens, then it means that school must close down. But God being so good, it got up to a certain limit that brought about the schools not closing down, and it had a negative impact during that regime. I mean, 2019, we had a full plan for the academic year, and because of the strike, it brought about an extension of the normal calendar, and then 3 more weeks was being added to the normal calendar, and which is also leading into this year. So we were supposed to write our end of semester examinations last year, 2019, around December. But because of the first phase of the strike, it wasn't able to, take effect. So we have to pause the exams, break for the Christmas, come back 2020 January, and then get the exams being written. And it's the case that as the government promised to pay or to defer the payment for our lecturers to be able to resume their normal position of teaching, the government in a way failed as at the day that he promised to give out such monies. So this year, 2020, as we were hoping to write our end of semester examinations, because of the strike again, there's this halt on the strike, halt on the exam, that we cannot in any way write the papers, because based on the preambles or the points being stated when they declared a strike on 6th of January this year, it said clearly that there is no going to be any form of examinations or invigilation or marking of script. So these 3 items is, causing we the student not to be able to write our end of semester examinations. If you go to other countries, Germany for instance, the economy or the central part of that nation is being handled by the technical university student. I believe we have other students from normal traditional universities like Legon, UCC, and K University. They are also adding up to rebuilding the economy of Ghana. But what I want to state clearly is that students from TUs, technical universities, are so different in a way that when they are being given more room for improvement, when they are being given what they need to get, what they need to have as students before they complete school, then the output will turn out to be very good in a way that will help to improve the economy of Ghana. So the government should at this moment just declare a policy or a statement that will make it clear that TUs are to be treated the same as normal traditional universities. Moreover, they've migrated since 2016, and there's this Act 922, which is backing or serving as a legal backing force for them to be the same as universities. So if there's this force in power, then it means that the LI should be applied. And this LI that I'm talking about is the legislative instrument that is mandating our lecturers to be the same as traditional university lecturers. So the government should just intervene and provide what will bring about solution to this problem. When I say I'm very, very disappointed, I am so because it is like the case is being relegated to a point that technical university lecturers, and for that matter students, at the moment, let me say, they are not in a way needed, because we must do something before we give them a listening ear. And if it's not so, then it means that from 2019, October, November, December, and you are in January, and then by now, we shouldn't be experiencing the strike. So the government should not give room for we, the upcoming or the new generations, to think that, oh, there's this kind of, notion in the sight of government or those up there, because we also believe that we can contribute in building the nation. So for the disappointment, 100%.
Well, let's talk about what you're going to do on that disappointment. And now we have my final question to you. Previously, the SRC held some demonstrations. This time is day 4, and I can imagine the pressure mounting on you. Are we going to see anything from the SRC in the coming days?
SRC this year, we are called Can Do. So the team or the name for our administration, which is Agenda for the Student Administration, depicts or says everything that we intend doing. And the Can Do spirit that we are having as students or as leaders is in a way making us to be able to do what they think that we can do. So we have plans that if, let's say, the government fails to intervene, and then other internal factors that management are trying to do also, bears no fruit, SRC, in collaboration with our mother university, JoyNews, we are planning alongside that if it should happen that nothing is being done about this case, what we did last year in terms of the intrinsic or the internal demonstration, this time around we'll be doing an external one, a massive one, and then it will be called Operation Desert Storm. And then I believe when we do that, the government will know we, the students, we are also in a way involved. As I said, when 2 elephants goes to war, it is the ground that suffers. So we have plans, we have soft plans and we have tough plans as well, that will in a way be initiated.
SRC for the Accra Technical University, SRC President, I should say. In the meantime, TUTAG Chairperson for the Accra Technical University, Dr. Ibrahim Zubairu, has debunked claims made by the National Council for Tertiary Education, saying teachers are yet to submit data to enable payment. Dr. Zubairu says the letter request for this came as late as 30th December 2019, and that the press release blaming TUTAG is inaccurate at best.
The bottom line is that they have to pay the allowances. Now they are putting the blame on us that we have not submitted the data, and that is what we have to clear for the general public to know. This letter from NCT was dated 30th December. That was sent to us demanding that we bring information, data for our members to be paid. And then they gave the deadline that we should submit by Wednesday, 8th January, which was yesterday. Could they have paid in December? So is it TUTAG that is not submitting the data? Or it is them who did not ask for the data. Well, all along we think that because you are being paid already by controller, all the information they're asking for is already there. And the question we're asking is, what data is controller using to pay us that they used to pay our salaries in December, paid our salaries in January, November, October, and the rest of them? What data did they use? For office holders, fine, we agreed. Are you okay? They said they needed that one. That came earlier, around 16th December, thereabout. So I coordinated it and we submitted the controller. Later we got the message that unless NCT is verified, because NCT has raised objection, so they will have to take the data there, or they say we should submit direct. So we came back and told our people, and letters were written, and we resubmitted, same thing we sent the controller back to NCT. And they said they are verifying to take it there. When they took it there, as at Monday 6th, some people started getting messages that they have been paid. Few people, and I can tell you few. Exams officers have not been paid. Faculty officers have not been paid. Few HODs and few deans have been paid. And that does not, or that is not the total office holders that we have. You understand? We admit that some payment have been paid or have been made to the people. But the question we're asking is the generic for the general senior members who were downgraded hitherto and were supposed to be reinstated and have not been reinstated. You are not paying them. Now you bring this on 30th and say that we should submit data. Now you're putting the blame that we have not submitted data. We are not objecting the submission of the data. But we are talking about the timing on us. We are going to respond. But you see, sometimes when two elephants fight, it's the grass that suffers. Our bleed is about our student. That's my problem. Salifu's children are not in the technical universities, or those working at the NCT. Their children are not in technical universities. So at the end of the day, those who are suffering there, does it affect him? It doesn't. It is we, our families, we are teaching here, and our families are going to school here. We are not, you see, we are not fair to ourselves. So these are the things. So this 4-page is rather infuriating every rank and file of the lecturers of the technical universities, even including the administrators. But everybody is angry. Because this letter is purported to say that administrators and the vice chancellors who are in charge of the administration of the university didn't do their work by providing. TUTAG do not just provide data in vacuum. We were employed, and our data was submitted to administration. So if you need data, you direct it to the appropriate quarters. They will provide the data and send it to you that this are our staff, this are their level, blah, 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 blah. And you know. In any case, which data did you use to migrate us?
Tazuberi there speaking to PSC Namayao Safo.